Welcome back to A Grace to Grow. In our last segment, we talked about communication in the form of listening. And today we're going to be talking about nonverbals and tone. So would you like to start on the nonverbals?
No, I want to start on the nonverbals. Definitely the nonverbals played a major role. And first, I want to share that I believe a lot of times we use mechanisms to protect us. I know, say for instance, somebody talking too much and it really get on your nerves. A mechanism is just flat out, blurt out, shut up. That's a mechanism. You just want them to stop. I think nonverbals, rolling your eyes, are a mechanism that you use to try to respond or relate to say things. And I know in relationships that we have to be careful because nonverbals can be like a knife going into the other person. And the one thing D always get on me, the pursing of the lips, the bucking of my eyes, and also I know from a male perspective, I know my nonverbals was somewhat to be intimidating. She get to going on, and I just want her to stop going on and on. So I just buck my eyes and raise my eyes and say, hey, but we have to be able to watch our nonverbals and see how it affects the other person. And it also helps that the other person say, hey, this is how it make me feel. And D and I always want to share, it's a healthy balance of listening and sharing so we both can know and being open. I have to be open for D to say, Ken, you bucking your eyes just make me feel like you ready to do something. And I have to be open to say, well, okay, I get to that point, I want to do something. So
I know for me, like you said, the way you smirk your lips, that's a key indicator for me. I'm about to shut down because I feel like you don't even want to be in this conversation with me.
I really don't.
And I still, after 23 years, I still have to tell myself, just keep going. Just keep going in the conversation. Express how you feel. And I know for women, ours could be the shrugging of the shoulders. We're known to move that neck. A simple sigh. Any of those things could really shut a person down. And like I just mentioned earlier, we have to, I know for me, I have to push beyond that. But in actuality, with communication, those nonverbals, sometimes it's not even what you're saying, it's those nonverbals that gets me. Like I could be like, man, forget it. I don't even want to talk no more.
Let me ask you a question. It just come to me.
Okay.
Is this a nonverbal or not? I want y'all to just hold on right now. When you go to the edge of the bed and you tuck the cover under you and you have your back turned, is that a nonverbal?
That is not. See, you telling on me.
Is that a nonverbal?
It could be. Me turning my back to you could be a nonverbal, and actually, a lot of nonverbals, including that, could be a form of manipulation. I'm shutting you off. Oh my gosh, I'm talking to myself right now, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep going. But yes,
okay.
So we gotta be mindful of those nonverbals.
All right, we're gonna move on to tone then.
Yes.
I hope that bless somebody out there.
Yes.
Come from the edge of that bed, sleeping on 3 inches of space. Come back to the sun.
I know how to balance it. But seriously, tone.
Yes. Yeah.
Tone was big for me because, especially early on, I used to always tell you, Ken, you're talking loud.
Yeah.
And for me, I came from a home where my father was soft-spoken. So whenever you got loud, it just shut me down. I didn't even want to have the conversation anymore. And so I started internalizing things, which is not good. But, I realized over time, if I didn't communicate that to you, that you're talking loud, how would you know? You could have came, or anybody could have came from a family that everyone naturally talked loud.
And I did.
So if that wasn't anything different for you.
No.
But if if it was something that was truly bothering me, I gotta be able to say, Ken, you make me feel like this when you talk loud, or your tone shifted when I said this, and this is how it made me feel.
In relationships, parents, children, marriage relationship, best friend relationship. Relationship is this. It's two people getting on one road in one vehicle going in one direction. You both have input, you both have plans on how to get there, but now you have to agree on what is the best plan. And now how are we going to communicate that plan? And to me, right now, where Dee and I are in our relationship after 23 years of marriage, all the crap that comes against us being peaceful, us being, in love with one another, us feeling that joy, we just weed it out quicker, okay? It's not perfect. We weed it out quicker, so when the tone is out of place, over the years, we know how to remove those tones, and I know how to, if I know I just caused her to respond a different way because of my tone, I want to be quick to change that tone. And because once again, it is a mechanism. My tone, I know it makes her back up, get back, get out of my space. No, I can't tell her to get out of my space. We're becoming one. So now I have to make sure I maintain a tone that keeps her in my space or keep us moving on that road to becoming one. And so, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you pretty much hit it. I think over the past few years, because we have decided to be in a place of peace, we recognize when our tone is not in order. I could be having a bad day. Somebody else could have done something to me. You're the person closest to me, so why am I taking it out on you? So, and that goes with the nonverbals. I could be having a bad day, but I gotta be able to pull back and say, you know what? This is not how I'm supposed to treat you. This is not how I'm supposed to speak to you. And I think the biggest thing in the communication, and we're gonna be sharing a whole lot more on communication, is that being able to truthfully express how we feel to each other and recognizing what triggers us. I know when you smirk your lips, that's a trigger for me. D don't shut down because he smirked his lips or he, turned a certain way. A lot of times we allow the smallest little distraction to cause us to shut down.
And let me put on the flip side. I don't need to smirk my lips when she says something that I don't approve of. That's a habit that I had prior to the relationship and someone in the relationship, but that's that thing I need to weed out. And so with that, as always, Dee and I hope anything that we share blesses you, help you to move towards a healthy relationship and a healthy family. So thank you for listening.
Yes, and again, we're going to be talking a lot more about communication. Are we able to apologize to each other? Instead of always saying, you, can we take the responsibility of what can I do differently? So stay tuned. We got a lot more to talk about with communication. A grace to grow.